let's talk about door knocking and why most real estate investors completely avoid this. They convince themselves it's too scary or it's unsafe or maybe it's just too much work. But here's what they don't realize. I tripled my deal flow just by knocking on doors. I got so good at it that I started closing deals at the door just because I was the only one willing to show up in person. If you've ever struggled to get off-market deals, or if you're tired of just cold calling, you're tired of dead leads, you're tired of ignored messages, then this video is for you. So I'm going to break down the exact door knocking strategy that gets homeowners to drop their walls, how to overcome objections and build that trust instantly, and then the best follow-up tactics so that you never lose a lead. By the end of this video, you're going to have everything you need to confidently knock on doors and to dominate your market, even if you have never done this before. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, we all know that most investors will never knock on doors. They think it's too much work. They'd rather send texts, make cold calls, or spend thousands to mail postcards, hoping that someone calls them back. But here's the reality. If you want the easiest deals, you need to go where no one else is willing to go. So most homeowners, they ignore texts and cold calls. The direct mail that you send them gets thrown in the trash. But when you knock on their door, they have to acknowledge you. And that's why door knocking still works better than almost any other strategy for finding off-market deals. But here's the mistake that most investors make when they do try to door knock. They come off as salesy. They pressure homeowners too soon, and they don't know how to master the first 15 seconds of the conversation and just end up getting the door slammed in their face. This is why most people fail. Door knocking isn't about selling. It's about building trust. It's about offering solutions. And if you do it right, it becomes one of the most powerful lead generation tools that you're ever going to use. So let's talk about how to do it right. And a little pro tip before we get into this. The best leads to door knock, in my experience, are foreclosure leads. Okay, so step one, it's about having the right mindset. Before you even knock on a door, you've got to shift your mindset. You are not a salesperson. You're there to help, not pressure them. You also are not interrupting their day. You're giving them options they may not even know exist. And then confidence wins. If you show up nervous or uncertain, the homeowner's going to sense that and they're going to back away. So step two, that's the approach. So when you knock on a door, what we want is a friendly knock. And then we take a step back, okay? So it's a dut, 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 dut. Then take a step back away from the door. Don't stand right in front of the door. Take a step back so you don't feel intrusive. And then you wait 20, 30 seconds. And if they don't answer, you go and knock again. Dut, 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 dut. Then take another step back. 20, 30 seconds go by. Do it one more time. Dut, 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 dut. Take that step back. Okay? You also want to dress the part. So don't show up in a suit looking like a corporate sales rep. Wear casual but professional clothes. So a polo or a t-shirt and jeans, that's just fine. And then you want to keep your hands visible. Don't put your hands in your pockets. Don't cross your arms. Don't put your hands behind your back. And then also hold a simple just notepad, a padfolio, so that you look prepared, but again, not like a corporate salesperson. You also want to make eye contact and smile. Your body language here matters a ton. That's the first thing they're going to see when you're standing there. If your body language is timid, if you're shy, they're going to sense that. So have a confident stance, not overwhelming, not intrusive right in their face, but have that step back, confident stance. Give them a little bit of a smile. They're going through a tough time, so don't be the super bubbly person that's, hey, I saw your house was in foreclosure. That's not going to work. But if you give them a soft little smile and say something along the lines of, hey, are you Mr. Homeowner? Yeah. Hey, my name's Ben, and I know this is super out of the blue, but I saw that your lender scheduled a sale. Man, hopefully you have that handled, but if not, I might be able to help. And then you shut up and listen. So this is the key. Most people feel like they need to keep talking. Don't keep talking. The homeowner's either going to start talking and open up about their situation, or they're going to say they're not interested, and that's okay. If they start talking, keep the conversation flowing by asking things like, do you mind if I ask how things are going? Have you looked into your options yet? And if they say they're not interested, you can respond with I totally understand. Just wanted to leave my information, and in case anything changes, do not hesitate to reach out. And then hand them your info and move on. So what if no one answers the door, though? Well, that happens. You knock 3 times. They didn't answer. Here's what you do next. You leave a sticky note on the door or their garage that says something along the lines of, hey, homeowner's name. You still have options. And then you put your name and your number. This leaves a cliffhanger for homeowners, and it doesn't overwhelm them with all of the information that you could possibly give them. So I used to leave these long, detailed notes to homeowners. That didn't work. When I made them short and sweet, I started to get a ton of traction. They want to know what you can do to help, and instead of writing all of it out on a piece of paper, I'd rather them call me and have a conversation with them about their options. You can slip a letter under the door or in the mailbox. You can go back at different times too. So try morning, try afternoon, try evenings, or better yet, go on the weekends. Guess what every other investor isn't going to do? You got it. Go door knock on the weekends. And then track your visits. Go multiple times at the same door. Too many people think if they don't get the owner on the first knock, they should just cross the name out on the list and go to the next one. But you're going to figure out a couple things when you go back. Number one, you're going to figure out if it's in fact vacant. If you go back a couple days later and your note's still on the door, it might be a vacant property. And number two, if there are other investors knocking on doors in the area, you're going to figure that out. If your sticky note's gone and it's replaced with another note from a different knocker, you know you have some competition. But that competition used to motivate me. I wanted to out-hustle the other investors. Seeing other notes from other knockers lit a fire. I had to win. And here's the reality. Very few of my deals ever happened on the first knock. Most were on the second, the third, or even the fourth visit. And most investors give up too soon. But if you keep showing up, you're the one that they'll remember when they finally are ready to do something. So let's talk about overcoming objections, because you're going to hear them. So objection number one, I'm not interested. I totally understand. Just wanted to leave my info in case anything changes. Do not hesitate to reach out. Okay? How'd you get my information? This is public data, and lenders post this information. I just reach out to see if I can help. So how do you make money? Well, sometimes I buy houses. Sometimes I just help people find solutions that don't involve selling. Either way, I try to provide options. Handling objections is just about keeping the conversation open, okay? So if you can get past that first 15 seconds of the conversation with a homeowner, you're going to have a much greater opportunity of either getting the deal right then and there or being the person that the homeowner comes back to when they need to do something. So here's the bottom line. Door knocking works because it's personal. It's much harder to slam a door in somebody's face than it is to not respond to a text message or hang up a phone call. Most investors aren't going to do this either. So that's to your advantage. And then the key here is confidence, consistency, and follow-up. If you can master those 3 things, you're going to close deals. So drop a comment if you've ever tried door knocking. What was your experience? Let's talk about it. And if you want real strategies on how to build a successful real estate business, hit that subscribe button. Now get out there and knock on some doors. I promise it's not that scary.